Hey guys, this is Tara with Teaching on Lemon Lane, and this is a quick walkthrough of the All About Me bulletin board. So the first thing I wanted to point out is if you are looking for a PDF or a print version, this is the print version. In order to download that, you simply click on this button and click on this link, and it will take you to the PDF version, making it very easy to print. If you're wanting to edit the text on the print version, you're going to go over here to this slide and you'll notice that all of the text is editable. So you can go in and kind of add your own instructions or add your own spin onto this. The printable version just allows students to complete this by hand. Next, we're going to look at how to use this digitally in your classroom. So a few things to consider. You can assign this to your students to where they have their own copy. In order to do that, you simply just assign it in Google Classroom and it will make a copy for everyone. One way that I like to do it, create a collaborative slide. The fun part about having a collaborative slide is that each student kind of interacts with their own file, but then you're also able to add comments and kind of explore everyone's within the same Google slide. So sharing that to a class, it simplifies things instead of having to go in and add everything to one slide or have students open up their one project to be able to kind of show to everyone. So a collaborative slide is nice for that reason. If you do decide to do a collaborative slide, I suggest using the kind of these collaborative Google slide presentation rules. I have each student put their initial next to their class number, showing that they agree to these terms. These terms are editable, so you can change it to your own class's needs. If you want to assign it as a collaborative slide, you will need to make a copy of all of the slides that you want the students to see. Consider this, which the one that you are looking at, that's kind of your master. You never want to edit the master. So instead, you're going to say File, make a copy, and you can do selected slides. And you could basically just name this kind of student bulletin board, student copy, and then we will say make a copy. But you would go through and you would select all of the slides that you want the students to see. So if I were doing that, I would start with the student instructions. So start with our Google terms here. You may even want to include a few examples. So I would click on those while holding Command or Control based on the computer that you are using. I would include the student video tutorial and then the student instruction pages. I would also select each one of these, and these are the slides that the students will go in and interact with that. So once you have those all selected, you'll go File, make a copy of the selected slides that you've clicked on, or you could just do it of the entire presentation and delete the slides that you do not need. So once you have a student copy, if you are doing a collaborative slide, students are going to go in and they're going to kind of just interact and create their own bulletin board. I highly suggest as a teacher that you model how to create one and you model making one for yourself. This is a great way for students to kind of anticipate what they are going to be doing, which will help lessen the anxiety. But even better, it's a way for them to get to know you and connect with you. So really quickly, I'm going to show you how to create your own. So first things first, you're going to type your name. So I just double click and then I type in my name. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a picture. Anywhere you see this kind of greenish turquoise grid, it's showing that they're showing you that there is a picture placeholder there. So I single click on the picture placeholder. Now notice the option replace image comes up. Replace image, I'm going to upload from my computer. I actually have an avatar that I've created already saved. I double click on it and it automatically inserts it into that picture placeholder. I don't even have to crop it. Let me show you where a few of my favorite options for a digital avatar are. So here are some of my favorite links. This is for high school students if you'd like them to create an avatar. Sometimes students are more comfortable with using an avatar, like a digital representation of themselves instead of an actual picture. However, when you use those picture placeholders, you can use an actual picture as well. So these two are great options for high school students. If you are using middle school or even elementary school, Pixton is my favorite. You will need a teacher account in order to use Pixton, but I think that you will find that it is awesome for other subject material as well. So if you're in that middle school, elementary school age, definitely check out Pixton. So I've already created the avatar and I've inserted into my page. If you are wanting to insert your actual picture, students could take a picture with their webcam, insert, image, And you've got these options. So uploading from your device, you can actually search the web, drive, photo, or they can even take a picture there and insert it in. You can go ahead and edit this part here. Let's go ahead and zoom into the ticket area. So this is kind of a ticket stub, and the fun part about this is that it is so inclusive of so many different types of events. So maybe it would be a student's dream, and I would put the X, I single click and drag to show that this is actually a dream ticket stub. And for instance, maybe it's, Hamilton on Broadway in New York. Maybe it's going to Comic Con, maybe it's going to a specific concert, maybe it's a rodeo, maybe it's a sports event. But what is so fun about this little ticket is that you can learn a lot about your student and what is interesting to them just through this little ticket stub right there. So they edit their ticket. Right here is where they can add a favorite quote. If you would rather it be something else, you can edit the text here. The next part, we have the few facts. I've included suggestions here. In order to highlight all of it and type, you simply just click 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you can automatically start typing. So my suggestion here would be, where are you from? If you want to edit the suggestions, or if you want very specific things that you want from your students, you can go in and edit that before you make those duplicates of each slide. The next part here is the boarding pass. This is another really fun one. This boarding pass, it may represent a favorite memory. I'll zoom in a little bit more so we can see that. So the students have the option of a favorite memory, maybe it's a bucket list trip, or maybe it's their dream vacation. So they're gonna create their own plane ticket to any one of those type of things, and then they're gonna show you what that is. Maybe it's something that they've done, maybe it's something that they dream of doing. So that's another fun way to get to know your students in a different way, kind of outside of those basic get to know you questions. Lastly, we have our little kind of bulletin board down here where we have pictures and places where they can type. If you don't want to do a nickname, and I would always point out too with the nicknames, make sure it's a nickname that they like. Some students have nicknames that they don't like. So you may want to change this to something else. Maybe it's, do you have a pet? What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite color? The summed up in one word is really fun. You'll get a lot of varied responses there. But basically, how would students, if students could kind of summarize themselves in one word, what would it be? Lastly, we have these little Polaroids down here. I like to use a Google search, but students can actually use pictures from their device. So we simply single click on the picture placeholder. We come up to replace image. If I were uploading, say, a picture of my family that's saved to my computer, I would upload from my computer, I would find it, and then I would click open. But I can also use replace image, search the web, and right here I've already got a picture of a concert, so I would double click and it's automatically going to insert that picture. And then I could create a relevant hashtag for that concert. Maybe it was like the best night ever, and that would be my hashtag. So I'll go ahead and add pictures into each one of those picture placeholders. And that's basically it. You have a very simple, but very meaningful and very visual way of getting to know your students. I suggest having your students share. Maybe you have them share in groups. Maybe you have 2 or 3 students kind of open the class each day with just sharing a little bit about themselves. At the end, you can have students raise their hand if they connected with something, if they have a clarifying question. But it's a really great way to kind of connect with your students and get to know them. One last benefit to doing the collaborative slide is that students can go in and they can actually add a comment. So we can add a comment to a slide by simply right-clicking on the slide that we are on, and then we have the option to comment. And you'll notice it shows who I am logged in as. And so I could go ahead and comment on the slide, and it could be something that I've connected with. It's something that I have a question with. What I would suggest doing is limiting 2 to 3 questions. You decide on the number per slide. That way students aren't prone to just going to their friends. So once a slide has 3 comments on it or questions, I would cut it off and I would ask them to find someone else. So everyone comments 3 times. And once a slide has 3 comments or questions on it, that one is closed. That way we are encouraging students to interact with everyone, and everyone will receive the same number of interactions, thus kind of creating this classroom community and a feeling of community. This is a great activity. It's one of my favorites for back to school, whether you decide to do the digital version or the printable version. It's a great way to kind of go beyond just those basic get to know you questions. If you have any questions at all, please email me at teachingonlemonlane@gmail.com. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.